Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Scuffy the Bear, and today we're going to be talking about the new Lord of the Rings MMO that was announced. So we're going to be watching Asmongold's reaction to that. Let's get right into it and check it out.
Amazon is actually making a Lord of the Rings MMO, which is
Yep.
so weird to me because, like, I thought that this got canceled, and it did. It got canceled in 2021.
I didn't even know that this was like a thing in 2021. I know of an older Lord of the Rings MMO that exists. Like if you Google it now, there's literally a game called Lord of the Rings MMO, which already exists. It's out there. It's older and dated, but it's kind of weird. Literally one exists, and now they're announcing the second one. So I don't know what that's all about.
Or something like that, or 2020. Amazon is straight up making a Lord of the Rings MMO. Now, I have a lot of questions with this.
Yeah, same,
and
buddy.
I'm not sure exactly where to even begin. But the first thing that I'm wondering about is this going to be a first age, second age, third age MMO?
What a
Is
dork.
this going to be fourth age after the War of the Ring, by the way, is the third age. So,
I
like, are
mean,
we going to get
listen,
Numenor? Are we?
I also am wondering that, and I'm also a dork. But I think if they want this to appeal to as many people as possible, they would put it during the age of like Aragorn and the elves and all that shit. I think that makes the most sense. That's what the current one is set in. And that's what most people know, right? And this is the thing about Lord of the Rings is it's an MMO that attracts all types of people, regardless of gender or age. Lord of the Rings, like people just love Lord of the Rings. So I think the more accessible they make this, the better. And if you go too deep with the lore, with the freaking the age before men and all this crap, I think that's going to be annoying for people. Like the average person who games that's not into Lord of the Rings might be like, oh shit, like Frodo and Orlando Bloom. Yeah, I'll check that out. So I think they should keep it in the mainstream type of universe of Lord of the Rings.
We going to get fucking what's it called, like Minas Tirith? If you want me to be honest, I would like to see the first or second age a lot more. I feel like the third age is so fleshed out.
Like, it is, but that's because it's accessible.
We know like everything is going to be. It's so much of like an
otherwise it's just going to be a bunch of neckbeards
and,
playing
like,
this
understood world that I think it would be boring to have an MMO inside of it. And I think that the mysticism of like the early first age with like fucking like
it's too deep, I think,
and these like gods and these dragons that don't have wings yet, like was it Glamrung? Is it Glamrung?
See what I'm talking about?
You know,
this is too deep in the lore.
I think that would be way.
People want Elijah Wood and Orlando Bloom.
Yeah, Glamrung. Yeah, I forgot how to say the name. So you like Knights of the Old Republic, exactly.
Yeah, because
and I also really wonder about
that's
this
real
because,
accessible
like,
to the average person.
No, if you're a Lord of the Rings fan, you're a Tolkien fan, you know how restrictive Tolkien is with the Tolkien estate.
So he's talking about how the Tolkien estate doesn't let people use their IP for things a lot. This was true in the 90s. Okay, it's not so true anymore, right? There's that Gollum game is coming out. There's the Power of the Rings TV show. Magic the Gathering is doing Lord of the Rings shit. Like there's a fucking 2 or 3 mobile games that are Lord of the Rings. So let's not pretend like the Tolkien estate is still stingy with what they allow their IP to be used for, because Lord of the Rings is used for fucking everything now. So I kind of disagree with what he's saying here. They're not as limited as they used to be. They're farming it out now. There's tons of watered down Lord of the Rings garbage out there currently.
Is with the IP. And I am really curious to know how much they're actually even going to be able to use. I mean,
as much as they want. Look at all these crappy games out there.
No matter what. I am a massive Lord of the Rings fan.
Same.
I fucking love Lord of the Rings. But at the same time, I don't know if it's really going to be good until we really see the gameplay and we see what's going to happen and everything like that.
Okay, so in my opinion, there's not a lot of good MMOs. I think WoW's a good MMO and Final Fantasy is a good MMO. And it's hard to basically get even near those two. It's really tough to get near those two. Lord of the Rings has the capability of bringing in a lot of people. You need a lot of people for an MMO to be really good, in my opinion. Like WoW at its peak had so many people. And I think Lord of the Rings has that ability, but they're going to have to make it really accessible, and they're going to have to make it fun in terms of not being a microtransaction type game, not being something you have to pay for little transactions and weapons and things like that. I don't know if they can do a subscription service. I'm guessing they're going to be free to play. But they need to figure out how to make the game and its progression itself the most rewarding piece, not just being able to buy things that make you good.
So overall, I actually had somebody that I know. I think that internally they're very excited about being able to do this, right? They told me about this whenever the announcement came out. I am super fucking excited.
Yeah.
Man, it'll be based off their show. I highly doubt it's going to be based off
that
Rings
show
of
was
Power,
not
man.
that great.
This is like really, really like ancient knowledge, so I could be wrong about it. But wasn't the reason why Gandalf didn't remember the two blue wizards' names, Alatar and Polando?
What the?
Isn't the reason why
See,
he didn't
that's
remember their names in Lord of the
too
Rings
deep.
because they didn't have rights to the Silmarillion? So, and that was with the
That's
the
too deep.
movies.
That's too deep of
And
lore.
the Hobbit. Oh, was it the Hobbit? I forgot if it was the Hobbit or Lord of the Rings. But yeah, it probably was the Hobbit. That would make more sense. So yeah, they only had the appendices. So I think that there are a lot of cases where I think Rings of Power would probably have the same issue too. I just don't know entirely like what the
Rings of
scope
Power is not that popular.
of the IP that they are able to use is. They confirmed the MMO is Third Age and not related to Rings of Power. Did they?
Okay, so it is Third Age. There you go.
They confirmed
The Third Age is like the Bilbo,
Age.
Elijah Wood,
Third Age.
Orlando Bloom, Liv
Okay,
Tyler
here we
shit.
go. Yep, you're right about that. The
That's
game
good.
will be set in the Mythical Lands Third Age, which is the same time period
Perfect.
of the events of The Hobbit and Lord of the
Good
Rings.
choice, in my opinion. Good
Okay,
choice.
There we go. So it is going to be at that same
It's
time
more
period.
accessible to people, man.
I wonder, like, how much stuff they're going to be able to have.
You can
I
interact
don't know.
with those
It's the safe
characters. That's
option.
cool as
It
fuck.
is definitely the safe option. I understand why they would go with this.
Agreed.
And it seems like it probably would be an easier thing to do, especially considering, like, again, like the restrictions of like the Tolkien estate.
I don't think there's a lot of restrictions, honestly.
But yeah, I'm really, really excited for this. Fuck.
I wonder what it'll look like graphically.
I don't know about this. I'm a big believer in Amazon's approach to business. They're not going to force it to ship if it's not ready.
Amazon Games makes you pay
I
for
mean,
too much.
I think they kind of did that with New World, and I think Lost Ark got shipped with like really bad.
Never played Lost Ark.
Voice acting. I think they really did fuck that up. And
I'll say
they did
this.
delay
Let me
Lost Ark
pause.
because of the voice acting.
Lost Ark and New World are not my cup of tea, but people still play them. Like, I know that they were pretty popular. I don't know if they have longevity at all, but it's not what I would want to play.
That's the thing. I think the Third Age is overdone. I think so too, personally. I would have liked to see First or Second Age more.
Yeah.
Like, again,
They got to draw
good
people
Lord of
in,
the Rings
man.
game that's actually like true to what Lord of the Rings is supposed to be. Very hard to find.
If you could be a
However,
hobbit, how sick would that be? You could be a hobbit in this
like,
game.
I'll
Have a
take what I
hobbit
can
hole
get.
with a hearth, a nice fire,
Lord
and
of the
just
Rings
cook
Online is
up
great.
little
Try that. I
meals
don't
for
know.
yourself,
I
little
think it's just like
teas,
a really, really old game.
and
So I'm not
breads.
sure. Third
and
Age is during
jams.
The Hobbit.
It'd be
Yeah.
so nice.
I think the beginning of the Third Age.
Or you
was
could be
like
an
after
elf,
the fall of Númenor,
live in the
right?
forest, eat special
Or was
magical
that after the
fruits,
fall of Sauron?
grow your long
I don't
blonde hair and
remember.
shit.
It was after the fall of Sauron.
The thing that I
Númenor,
care
yeah.
most about in MMOs, and this is why I didn't really care for New World, the thing that excites me the most and like the most exciting part is when you start an MMO and you pick a race to play as, like hobbits, elves. Maybe they'll have bad races, right? Like the Nazgul or orcs, right? Maybe they'll have factions. But then within those races, you also have classes like assassin, wizard, archer. You know what I mean? Like necromancer. Like picking a race, a faction, and a class to me is the most exciting part of an MMO. So when I think of Lord of the Rings and being able to choose from all the different things they have in those categories, that's actually really exciting. And then the second part is environments. Like, imagine, like, if you get to have your own house in the fucking Shire, people would pay just for that. Like, just to be able to decorate their own, like, little hobbit holes and cook foods and, like, have their friends come over and then, like, maybe go on a little mini adventure in the woods near the Shire and fight some wolves and stuff. Like, there's so much potential outside of, like, just the typical MMO experience. Like, if you could, like, clash this up with, like, The Sims a little bit too and make it really, really cool. It's got a ton of potential.
Yeah, I forgot which one. Sauron was the start of the Third Age. When Isildur cuts Sauron's finger off. Yeah, there you go. Are we gonna get a Smeagol raid? Highly unlikely. I would not expect that. But yeah, I'm really, really excited
really cool.
to see
I
what
like
this
this
game is going to be. I really, really, really hope it's going to be good.
Cool.
Amazon, by the way, they are collecting all of the MMOs. So they're going to be publishing. They published New World.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, they made New World. They published Lost Ark. They're
Those aren't that
publishing
great.
Throne and Liberty.
I don't know what
They're
that is.
publishing Blue Protocol. And now
no
they're
idea.
also making a Lord of the Rings MMO. This is 5 fucking MMOs. Holy shit.
Here's what I say about that. Instead of having 5 MMOs, like have one really fucking good MMO. Just have one that's like awesome, and maybe it'll be Lord of the Rings. So yeah, as more news comes out about that, I'll check it out. So thanks again for checking out the video. Please like and subscribe. I'm Scuffy the Bear, and I will catch y'all later.